Why does every single AE86 Corolla dude, old school dude, insist on putting these door locks on their AE86 like it's some sort of additional security measure? Solex high-tech locks. So it's actually quite simple. So a while back I filmed a kind of an install, so I'm going to put that in here too, but I wasn't sure if I really answered why these are some sort of security measure. Now, with cars like 86s, where the door locks are all with a mechanical linkage, you can use all kinds of different tools to sneak in the gap here between the window and the door and pull up on the actual lock mechanism to unlock the door, open it, and then all your stuff gets stolen from inside your car. So let's check out the install, and then at the end I'll wrap up why these are an actual additional security measure and why they are useful, even though this specific style, the barrel lock, I mean, there are videos with people using like a big pen to shove in there and they're able to get all the detents open to be able to turn it. They actually are good for something. It's another day of working on my Levin AE86 hatchback project, and in this video I'm going to talk about door locks. So one of the common, modifications people did back in the day was installing Solex round cylinder or round key locks. For some reason people thought it gave them some extra amount of security, like they're more difficult to pick, so their car would be less likely to be broken into and stolen. That's not really the case. They are just as easy to pick as other locks. There's no real additional security, but it's a cool, I guess, period correct modification. So the parts that I picked up for my hatchback in one of my other videos where I drove 10 hours to get a crap load of parts also included some Solex locks. So in this video I'm going to show you how to install Solex locks in your AE86, at least in the doors. So the first thing is going to be to take apart the door. Now this is a door on my parts car, but I'm not going to show you to take out the door panel, but pretty much you just got to take off the door panel. And then on the lock cylinder itself, there's going to be like a little clip like this. So all you have to do is pop it open. Yeah, so you just take a little screwdriver, if your fingers are weak. Oh, look at that, and it broke. You would normally just push down on it, right? And it'd pop it off. These always get old and brittle. You can buy new clips pretty much from any auto parts store. They're in the doorman help section, whatever. It's just an assortment pack, and some of them work for 86s. So, anyway, you're gonna have something similar on the door lock in there. It's kind of hard to see, but it would normally be right there. This one is already broken. The next thing is you've got this little tab. You really can't see it, but there's a little retainer clip that's holding this lock in. There's a couple ways to get it out. Sometimes I've used pliers. In this case, I've already got it partially wiggled out, so now I'm just going to use a screwdriver to get it out the rest of the way. And there you go. And look, your lock comes out. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The way this little tab thing works is once it's inserted in the door, you put this on the back side and it holds it into the door, like so, right? All right, now I'm gonna go out to the hatchback and we're gonna show you how to put in the Solex locks. So, if you got them brand new in the box, they come with these instructions. It's a little windy, so they keep trying to blow away. The important thing is to figure out which lock goes where. Get A, B, and there's also a boot lock, which I don't have one. I don't have one for the hatch. I just have the ones for the doors. Just came in a 2-pack. And something I didn't realize, they come with new little mounting tab dealios or lock tabs in the back. So that's cool. Now to fit the Toyota door, you're gonna have to pull off this guy, the plastic ring that's there, and they come with a larger one. You have to put the larger one on so that way it fits in the door correctly. Okay, figuring out which lock goes to which door. Make sure it's in the unlock position, or make sure the tab is pointed up towards Solex, the slot. Then you're gonna look at the door from the outside, and you're gonna see where this tab ends up. The tab ends up pointing towards this edge of the door. That's when you know it's the right one. When you're putting it in, it might take a little bit of convincing to get the plastic to go in, especially if you've had some body work done, because it's going to be a real tight fit. To do that, I just use a little screwdriver. Once it gets kind of lined up, then I use the screwdriver to push the tab down a little bit. You can see I've got 3 of them started. The top one doesn't want to quite go in, so there we go. Just had to push it down a little bit. That lock is now in. Now all that's left is to put this guy in, and then it would also be to get the actual lock rod installed, but I'm missing the clip. So this, once you get it kind of inserted around the lock cylinder, then you're going to push so it clicks in place. There we go. That's all the way in. Done. And this is when you would normally put the lock rod. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. The lock rod in the little arm. I'm trying. And there we go. We have our sweet Solex high-tech locks installed. It started raining before I could get all the locks in, so here is day 2. Finishing up the install. I went to the auto parts store. I picked up one of these guys. This is what I was talking about with the door lock rod clip assortment. I think it was like $4 for this entire thing, and the one that you're going to use is the black one or the yellow one. I've been using the black ones. So you can see the black lock rod lock, whatever, installed in the hole on the latch. Pretty much all you do now is you insert that lock rod, or the rod, into the hole, and then move the clip over to hold it. And you can see I got the rod in the lock clip thing. Then you just push it down, and there it is. You can see the lock on the rod has not gone anywhere. And if you also look closely, you can see that the part of the door hinge that goes to the outer door handle is bent, so I'm going to go fix that real quick. That's pretty common to see that bent up. You just got to bend it back flat. So if you find that after you've installed new door handles, your handle still doesn't quite want to open the door very easily, it's because of that little tab is bent. Pretty much all you do to straighten it back out is you hold the outer door handle up, use a long flathead screwdriver or something similar to push down on the bent part, and then that should get your, it'll fix that so it'll be latched properly. You can see it now, it's bent a little bit more flat. So that will make it better for opening and closing the door. Okay, that's done. It's raining. It's probably worth mentioning that when you go to pull out the old locks, you're going to have to undo a clip of some sort to get that lock rod out, which is kind of a pain. In this case, I didn't have to do that because my car didn't have locks in it. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of. When you get to that point and you're frustrated because you can't get that lock out, just swivel the latch up and then use like a screwdriver or a pry bar or something to get in there to try and pop it out of a little plastic clip. Or your plastic clips might be broken like they were on my parts car. Okay, now that we've got the door locks installed, let me talk about why these are security measures. So like I said at the very beginning, people use like a what's called a Slim Jim to be able to grab the mechanical linkage inside of the door to pop open the lock, pull it up, whatever, to rotate the lock, and then the door is open. Now with these, the Solex locks, now what the Solex do is it actually moves the lock position. So on a standard lock, when you lock it, the lock cylinder rotates back to the same spot, which leaves the Slim Jim available or able to grab that lock rod. Now, with it in the locked position, this is physically locked in place, or you can't use a Slim Jim to move that lock rod to unlock the door. It gets locked into place so it doesn't have that spring, that free motion that the Slim Jim essentially takes advantage of to unlock the door. That's kind of a neat feature. The other way, like let's say you do lock your keys inside of your car, you know, you can unlock it with a big probe like you normally would. So like what locksmiths do now, instead of using a Slim Jim to open a door, they use a little tool that inflates up here to pry out from the door at the top to build a gap. And they get in with a long stick, and then they can actually grab the mechanical latch here to unlock it. So you can protect yourself from people using a Slim Jim with these Solex locks. And that's, you know, that's the reason why people use them. It's kind of an old school thing. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Thanks.